Through the smoldering embers and whipping flames of the rooftops, a hulking figure casts a shadow over terra firma. You slowly approach and, as the glass of the shattered windows grinds under your feet, begin to decipher the shape. With arms like thick tree trunks, you see something held above its head and hear a voice you recognize.
Please, General, I beg of you!
The familiar voice pleads.
You will suffer for your failure, coward!
Growls another that rattles your bones. With a monstrous strength, the larger figure suddenly rips their captive in half, spreading its entrails and viscera below and throwing the halves near your feet. As what remains of the captive's head looks up at you, you see the last terrified face of Garad. Then, like the crack of thunder, his killer descends into the town square. Rising slowly through a cloud of disturbed ashes, the threat reveals itself. A simiac, incomprehensibly large, with blood-soaked armor and eyes like autumn moons.
My scouts did not lie. They will live then, unlike Garad here.
The large simiac looks over at the severed body, then back up at you.
The band of the king.
He lets out a low guttural chuckle, gesturing to the flames.
This city would have lived to see the sun once more, but you have elected for its damnation.
He gives you a fanged grin.
You have your duty, and I have mine.
His eyes remain locked upon you.
As the first of his legion, let the deepest stars and fires of hell bear witness. I, General Drakat, will see to your end personally. Oh, and what an end. To die to such a foe.
He looks at the severed corpse.
Perhaps there is still some use for you yet, Garad.
He kneels down, picking up the halves and wielding them as hammers of flesh and bone.
Come now, dogs. For your end!
Through the smoldering embers and whipping flames of the rooftops, a hulking figure casts a shadow over terra firma.
Show yourselves, cowards!
Booms its voice.
Where has the king's band gone? Back to the boy who sent them!
You slowly approach, and as the glass of the shattered windows grinds under your feet, the bloodshot eyes of the figure above quickly snap in your direction. You hear a growl of satisfaction. Then, like the crack of thunder, the figure descends into the town square. A simiac, incomprehensibly large, with blood-soaked armor and eyes like autumn moons, rises slowly through a cloud of disturbed ashes.
Band of the king. What a rabble.
He gestures to the flames.
This city would have lived to see the sun once more, but you have elected for its damnation.
In a slow and steady motion, he drags his palms through the ashes in the street, chalking the remains of the burning city between his fingers.
I should thank you for killing that fool of a commander earlier today. This is no place for the weak. Still, there is a blood debt to be paid. You have your duty, and I have mine.
His eyes remain locked upon you.
As the first of his legion, let the deepest stars and fires of hell bear witness. I, General Drakat, will see to your end personally. Oh, and what an end. to die to such a foe.
Stabbing his thick, trunk-like arms through the walls of the town hall, he rips out a large boulder of debris and holds it overhead.
Come now, dogs. For Urian!
Hot air and thick smoke permeate the town square, reminding you of the King's forges in the windless mountains. A world of burning metal and branded flesh. The feeling still haunts you. Much time has passed since those darkened days, and now neither you or Phoenix are alone anymore. As your party fights on, you know that there must be something more you can do to help. The great general reels back in the streets, dropping his weapons and toppling a building as he crashes through its walls. Leaving the rubble, you see blood dripping from his cracked armor. Suddenly, a troop of Simiacs land in the town square, scrambling to support their battered leader. He turns to them quickly.
Do not intervene, you useless whelps!
He grabs the nearest of his unwelcome allies.
You dare to deprive me of my glory?
The Simiac writhes in his vice-like grip, howling in pain as you hear the cracking of joints and crunching of bones.
Silence!
With a single monstrous bite, the great general devours the Simiac's head. Terrified, the remaining Simiacs attempt to leave as quickly as they came.
Where are you going, cowards?
They freeze in place. The great general cocks his arm back like a catapult and launches the headless corpse just above them.
You have already arrived. If you are to leave this glorious arena, it will be by my hands only.
Drakat has grown weary of your insignificance. In an eruption of primordial rage, he digs his hands deep into a shattered pile of white-hot stones from the street. With the hissing scourge, he swallows the pain and solders the burning rubble to his fists. Then again, and again, and again. With a final sear, the last piece of his makeshift knuckles is in place. As your party prepares for another attack, he calls forth an ear-shattering roar, expelling the fire and its light completely from the town square.
There was a time before your filth, before the first sun, the time of my people.
The sounds of bloody steps trudge in the darkness before you.
They did not need the light to find their prey, nor do I.
Once more, General Drakat enters the fray. General Dracut falls to his knees, staring down at a pool of his own blood. He whispers something to himself.
I will not fail you. Not like the others.
Standing one last time, he slowly removes the armor from his chest, revealing deep scars, both old and new. As your party prepares for another attack, he calls forth an ear-shattering roar, expelling the fire and its light completely from the town square. In the dim glow of the moonlight, glistening blood briefly silhouettes the great general.
There was a time before your filth, before the first sun, the time of my people.
The sounds of bloody steps trudge in the darkness before you.
They did not need the light to find their prey, nor do I.
Once more, General Dracut enters the fray. With his flesh rent from bone, the great general slows to a halt and falls to his knees. He pants as the blood from his wounds clouds the street. In the distance, the sunrise crawls its way into the world, and the general's stare deviates from you entirely. He looks to this final shred of day, and as the last breath leaves his shattered jaw, he falls flat against the cobblestones. The ash of terra firma peppers down on his corpse. The once great General Dracut has finally been defeated. You have saved terra firma, but at what cost? After a night of such chaos and bloodshed, you see the attack has left its mark in more ways than one. The charred corpses of bandits, guards, and townsfolk alike litter the streets. The final silence is almost deafening. Then you hear a distant noise as survivors force open their scarred and burnt doors. They take to the streets, desperate to find any news of their missing loved ones. You see the mayor, blackened by ash, sitting outside the steps of a burnt-down tavern. Its sign, the Hop and Reed, lays shattered at his feet. You hear him murmuring to himself as you approach.
400 years. 400 years since the city was founded. Now look at it.
His eyes trace a path through the ruined homes before him, pausing a moment before looking up at you.
My city was still standing here before you arrived. You brought all this trouble to our doorstep.
You tried defending your actions, a difficult task while standing in the ruins of a city. Still, they'd all be dead if not for you.
What are you, a fortune teller? You all have some nerve. I heard what that brute said. The counterattack would have never happened if you all just left well enough alone and never came in the first place. Our boy king just has to collect though, doesn't he? No regard for my city or her people, as long as the food keeps coming, eh?
You tell the mayor that you don't know anything about how King Regis governs, but you were sent to do a job. That's all. And there is a larger concern at hand. Earlier today, the mayor seemed worried about the fact that Urian's name was in the bandits' mouths. General Dracut said the same.
Fools rally to the dead all the time. You want to know so much about Urian? How about you go ask your old pal Celis? Maybe it'll do him better to educate his lapdogs next time.
The mayor stands up, slowly patting the ash from his hands.
I'll ask you to be on your way. You've done enough here.
He trods towards the ruins of the town hall. Heading towards the gatehouse, a familiar voice calls out to you.
Wait, please!
Shouts a man. As he gets closer, you recognize him from the distillery and see his daughter is now swaddled in a pack on his front. He catches his breath.
Thank you for waiting. I never had a chance to thank you properly last night. My name is Edvin, and this is my daughter, Elise.
You ask how his daughter is as the girl slowly stirs in the bundle.
She's alive, thanks to you. But according to the healers, she needs proper medicine. The sort that can only be found in the Divinus Cathedral. So that's where I'm headed next.
You mention how with all the bandit activity in the region, the roads may be a bit dangerous to travel alone with a child.
I appreciate the concern, but I'll not be alone.
He removes an object from his back. With a jerk of his hand, it unfurls and interlocks, revealing a bow unlike any you've ever seen. You see something on Edvin's face, a slight smile, a history untold.
I wouldn't worry.
He slings the bow over his shoulder.
I have nothing to offer right now, but once Elise is safe, I'll be sure to find you in Bonalia. Safe travels, friends, and thank you again.
Edvin nods and heads through the gate. The journey back to Bornalia could be more dangerous than ever now. Preparing for the road ahead, you try to see if there's anything left in terra firma that can help you. To your surprise, one of the shops remains open. The sign above the door reads, Percy's Pearl. As soon as you open the door, you hear the ding of the shop's bell and a sequence of rapid, heavy footsteps. Suddenly, a familiar old woman is before you. The last time you saw her, she was crawling in the street, desperate for help. Now she's covered in jewels and smiling ear to ear.
Oh, my goodness!
She exclaims, kissing you all on the cheeks.
Would you look, Percy? They've come to check on you.
I see them, dear. I've still got my eyes, don't I?
Says another familiar face as he makes his way out from behind the counter, golden cane in hand.
I'm Pearl, and this is my husband, Percy. Nice to be properly introduced, isn't it?
Without you, I wouldn't exactly be standing here now, would I? Honestly, I don't think any of us would be.
Percy gestures to you.
Come on back here. Let's find you something worth really having.
I've got something for you all, too. I'll be right back.
She shuffles away upstairs as Percy takes you back into the storeroom. He places his cane against the wall and removes some items from an old chest.
Now these, well, we don't just sell these to anyone now, do we? Take your pick. I'll give you a great deal. Just on one, though, please. I got to make a living after all.
With your new equipment in hand, you thank Percy.
Nonsense. Least I can do. And don't be leaving without saying goodbye to Pearl now. She told me she's been saving something for the right time.
You hear Pearl make her way down the stairs. She quickly kisses her husband on the head and hands you a large wrapped gift.
Wait a minute. Are you giving them the last pie, Pearlie?
Of course. Should have been too. But Percy couldn't help himself when he got back from the healers.
Embarrassed, Percy turns pink and looks away.
Aha! Thought you could sneak some, did you? Well now, they get the last one. Done this to yourself, you did?
She turns to you with a smile.
Here you go. Trust me, you've never tasted anything so damn good in all your life.
She pulls you in for a hug, and through a muffled mouth you hear her.
Thank you all so much.
She pulls away.
Go on now. We can take care of things here. It'll take time, but we've been through worse. Haven't we, Percy? You'll be needing to get back home, I imagine.
You wish them the best. Pearl waves goodbye, and Percy nods his head in thanks as you leave. Much has transpired since Garad's interrogation. So much so that you nearly forgot about the map he gave you. Studying it, you see his stash can be found just outside of the city gate, beneath a cracked red rock. You and your party search the area, until finally you discover it. You remove the red rock as your mind races with all the possibilities. Then you see your disappointing prize. There are no chests of gold or jewels, just an old dusty jar. Surely there may be something worthwhile inside. As the lid pops open, your excitement diminishes further. Inside there are only small brown spheres, not ornate and seemingly not worth the time it took to move the rock. What could Garad possibly have wanted with what appears to be a bunch of dried-up beans? Perhaps it was a cruel joke of a failed commander. A last-minute revenge for your earlier Brunic conversation. You can't be sure what or if these beans are more than they appear to be, but maybe someone else will know their purpose. You stuff the jar into your pack. You begin your journey on the long, winding road back to Bornalia. As you make your way past the harvest fields, the light of the morning sun retreats behind the veil of a dark storm cloud. A haze begins to creep around you until you can barely make out the ground at your feet. You hear something. A small sound, but a sound nonetheless. Somewhere in the fog is the ringing of tiny bells and the small ping of metal. Like jewelry shuffling around a busy neck. Slowly, you approach the source of the peculiar noise. You eventually see a large and imposing silhouette before you. At first glance, the shape reminds you of General Drakat as he rose from the street in the town square. Upon closer inspection, however, you lower your guard, finding the silhouette merely belongs to a strangely shaped boulder. Suddenly, A small field rat scurries up the side of the formation. As it approaches the boulder's head, a thinner shape shoots out and grabs it. With a small squeak, you hear the crunch of jaws as something chews through tiny, brittle bones. You hear the bells and ping of metal again, before a strained voice scratches its way to your ears.
Humbug, humbug, where have you gone?
The shape atop the boulder shuffles.
Not to the market. I went to the farm.
A slow laugh ekes itself out from the shape. You adjust your footing and step on a lone twig, snapping it. As you look at your feet and back up, you find the shape has disappeared. Behind you, a small bell chimes. You whip around to see a tall figure and two glowing orange eyes. It leans into you, craning its neck like a snake. Its eyes, like deep cracked earth, pierce through the bone-white mask. On the rim of its thick aubergine hood, you see bits and baubles of metal and hear the chittering of locust wings as it eyes you up and down. Slowly, the sound settles. Its neck reels back, slinking all the way into its body.
Humbug, humbug, what did you find?
With a thin, clawed foot, it takes one step towards you.
Here there are killers, stuck in a bind.
Like a melting shadow, the creature lowers itself on the ground, sitting with crossed legs. Looking closely, you see the large shape on its back is actually a pile of pouches and bags. You hear the chittering of locust wings once more as bandaged, spindly arms emerge from the folds at its sides. Reaching into other corners, pouches, and pockets, the arms pull out various objects, all of them seemingly ancient, yet gleaming like new, almost as if they had been pulled out of time itself.
Humbug, humbug, what will they choose?
That will depend. What can they lose?
The creature pulls its arms back into the folds of its cloak, not saying a word, and staring at you with unblinking eyes. In the uncomfortable silence, you slowly take your leave. Its eyes never cease to stare. As you make your way past another large rock, you hear the creature one last time.
Humbug, humbug,